Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I'm your host, Big Mike. We are live tonight on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. We are here recapping the NBA Finals Game 2. We're running the three-man weave. I got my man, the mad producer, Podcast Poppy, in the building.
We're here, working.
I think we got our special Boston Celtics correspondent, Blackheart, here.
1 second, folks. I'm just writing down something on my timesheet.
He's actually working.
I'm going double duty, bitches. Yo, you cannot tell me I'm a hard working man in podcast business. I deserve my trophy, please. Cash money, cash prize, all that shit. I need all that.
Well, I will give you credit, Blackheart. You are a true fan and not just a biased Celtics fan. You said that the Celtics were going to be in trouble tonight and the Warriors never lose 2 in a row at home. And true to form, the Warriors came out and did not lose and took care of business 88-107. We are tied going back to Beantown on Wednesday. I don't know why they are dragging this series, but
ratings, money.
Rating, thank you, thank you, Dylan. Ratings,
the longer the
money.
NBA's on, the more money they make.
Shit, I still haven't caught my jersey yet, so you know. That's when it gets close.
We had a good game tonight. We had a good game for about a half.
A half. We had a good half of basketball.
About a half.
We got a good half.
Because Ime came out there in the fourth quarter waving that flag early.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, this is over. This is over, guys." We got Jordan Poole hitting half-court threes like it's nothing. Yeah, we're done tonight. We're done here.
Turnovers galore is what killed this goddamn game. Killed it. And by the end of the fucking third quarter, it was a wrap. I was like, just don't need to even watch this.
Yeah, it got ugly.
It got bad.
And I
was traveling to work at that time period too. That I was just like, I see someone right next to me watching the game. I was like, don't even waste your time, bro.
What's crazy is, like, for a 20-point loss, right, the numbers aren't, like, that far off if you try to, like, watch the box score as opposed to watch the game. Because the box score tells a completely different story than this game does. Because if you take a look at turnovers, right, Golden State had 12 turnovers, Boston had 18 turnovers. So there's only a 6 turnover differential in this game. But the way it seemed in the game was Boston gave away the ball every chance they could.
It felt like.
But then they had 11 in the first half, and they had 7 the rest of the way.
It felt like all of them came in the third quarter.
Yeah, all of them came in the third quarter. And then when you take a look at, like, 3-point percentage, 15 for 37. And they were identical. Both of them 15 for 37. And then field goals was 30 for 80 for Boston and then 39 for 86. So it's like it's not too far off if you're going by just numbers. But if you watch the game, it was one good half of basketball and everything fucking shit the bed.
And then the dam broke in the third quarter and just, like you said, Boston just kept turning the ball over. Golden State got hot. And like what happens with Golden State, this is the exact reason why I picked Golden State in 7, because if this happens in a game 7, like, it only takes a few minutes for them to get hot for your season to be over. And that's what makes Golden State so Draymond game, where he was just being the ultimate irritant and just he got Jason Tatum a little bit. He definitely got to Jaylen Brown. And it's just, you look at Draymond's stat line, 9 points. I think he had 7 rebounds.
9 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists.
7 assists. Not on the stat sheet, you'd be like,
1 steal, 1 block. Like, he was everywhere.
But he was everywhere. He was everywhere, disrupting everything. And like we said after post-game live for game 1, Jordan Poole had to play better.
Yep.
And he did. And what you get is a comfortable Warriors win. Because what did we say Clay had? 12?
Clay had 11.
11? It's
Clay had
okay for
11.
Clay to have 11 when Jordan Poole's playing like this, and you get a little bit from Otto Porter, and like,
and we got Gary Payton to play.
And we had a Gary
well.
Payton signing, yes.
Yeah. And a Gary Payton signing too. And what's more intriguing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that, like we all said, Clay doesn't even need to have a good game. Jordan can be switching off with him, like, nah, B, you take tonight off. I got this. And then they can switch off. Clay can go on the very next game for game 3, and Jordan can even play either just defense, or he can always just be, just sitting there in the corner and just try to jack up threes.
Absolutely right.
Saying the similar thing for Wiggins too, but Wiggins is going to be another problem as well on the defensive end, because you see what the fuck that he was doing tonight.
Wiggins played very well tonight.
The only thing, we were talking earlier in the group chat. Well, Anthony was trying to say that this game was rigged. We'll get to that later.
Man, you should add me in that fucking group chat now.
He was just like, yo, this game is so out of whack. Like, they can't put games together back to back. I'm like, this is literally what Boston's been doing. Boston plays really good one game, and then they get punched in the mouth the next. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, cool. Let's play a game where we answer yes or no questions. Does Jason Tatum usually play this well? Yes. Does Jaylen Brown go cold? Yes, he does. Yeah. He's inconsistent when it comes to having a good game and putting two consistent games together. He doesn't do it well. He does it in game 6s and game 7s. Like, that's the only consistency I've seen with like 25-point games, 20-point games back to back. He'll give you a 25-point game in game 6 and then a 24, 26-point game in game 7. But if he puts up 27 and bring you back in the game 1 game, guarantee you're getting under 20 the next game. That's exactly what you got tonight. Mm-hmm. He had like 5 made field goals in the first half, and then he like didn't make another. And that's a tough that's a tough look.
Yes.
For you to do that. But like the main thing is like Marcus Smart needs to be better. Like that's the only like really out of whack thing I saw today, because Al Horford, you can't expect him to give you that type of output every game.
No.
Whether it's 2 points or 8 points or 10 points, whatever, like it wouldn't have made much of a difference, because when they stopped playing, they were down 30 and they were getting outperformed. But Marcus Smart only having 2 points.
And then you see how Celtics was randomly jacking up threes, trying to play their game. I'm like, bro, that's not how the way that we have to do this right now. You have to be the disruptor in the lane when it comes to their passing. When it comes to their passing, they are very high efficient when it comes to that. That's what I'm saying, especially with Curry leading that charge. So if you got Curry going off for 29 right now itself, then you automatically going to be in trouble, because if he actually goes up to 35, he can just spread the ball the fuck around. But nah, I done my part for tonight. I don't even need to go unless I know there's barely people besides maybe one person that's in double digits that he has to do it all. And tonight we seen that proof.
And then we got Derek White's normal Derek White performance. Like 12 points off the bench. He'll play defense. He'll do everything he needs to do. But like we got more we got a more normal Golden State game than we did out of the Boston Celtics.
Water, coffee?
I got it, Mike. Bam. Yeah. So we got a normal Golden State game, and the only abnormal thing we really got out of Boston was Marcus Smart not playing well.
Smart.
But like this is what we deal with. This is why I picked Golden State. Because it's championship DNA. It's Jordan Poole coming out and having a game. Like everybody in Golden State who normally has a good game had a good game. And like you can expect that more than the 25-point or 6 for 8 from 3 Al Horford game, or the 4 for 4 with 24-point Derek White game.
Yeah,
like it's just consistency, and it's good defense.
I do think if and when Marcus Smart plays better, it's a closer game. Which is why this was a hard series to pick, because if everybody that's supposed to play well plays well, this is a very close game, and it can get scary because Jason Tatum can get a basket whenever he wants.
Listen, man, you got Derek White even playing offense and defense for both ends. He played better than what Marcus Smart did. And you seen that shit too. And I seen it as well. I'm like, why didn't we just start Derek White at the 1, and then Marcus just came off the bench at the 6-man? How we usually did it from before. Ooh. Something don't get to think about for next game. Maybe you saw Derek White first.
Also, shout out to Steph and Jordan Poole for doing what I thought they were going to do more of last game, and that's abuse the bigs on pick and rolls. Boy.
But they did, but what I don't. It was like the first quarter of game one. All like I don't understand how you can see Steph Curry and decide I want to go under the pick. I don't. I will never understand that. Like,
Yo, drop coverage is so good against Golden State.
like
So
who
good.
does that? Who does that?
And the worst part about it is Jordan Poole got hot, and they were like, "All right, Steph and Jordan, take turns in the third quarter.
Just take turns," and they were lighting them
Time
up.
Lord can't play. Like, why is he? He's hurt.
He can't move.
He can't move.
But he hasn't done bad defending the post. The problem is Golden State's not
on the
attacking
perimeter.
the post.
They're killing him on the perimeter.
They're killing him on the perimeter because he's actually doing a decent job on the interior, and he is trying. He's getting rebounds because Golden State's small, but he can't guard nobody on the perimeter. They're chopping him up, and Tice can never see the floor again.
Yeah.
He can.
Remember when Trey was like, "Yo, no, Tice needs to play in this series"? I said, "Absolutely not. That's a bad idea." And then the second he gets out there, he gets put in the blender immediately.
He absolutely cannot touch the floor again because it's one thing. It's one thing if Steph Curry is chopping you up. Jordan Poole was seeking him, like, come here and get this work. Like, yeah, when it gets to that. Yeah, he
can't
over.
play. He can't play in this series. But
It's
like you kind of have no choice if Time Lord's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
And can't really defend the perimeter. Like, this is where coaching gets hard.
And
this is where coaching gets fucking hard.
We're going to see how.
Do I expect a better game in Game 3? Absolutely.
Yes, I think Boston's going to win Game 3.
I think Ime is going to put together a good game plan and punch back like he does. Like, this is again.
We've seen this in Milwaukee. We've seen this in the Heat. This is going to be, like I said, like a boxing match. It's all going to come down to the pivotal Game 5 is where everything is really going to be, okay, who's going to really make that last stretch to say, okay, we need to come out on top. Who needs it more? Who needs to go down in the gutter? Who needs to get technical fouls in this fucking case? People need to start getting some technical fouls and be like, yo, this is a game where, you know what I'm saying, like, you might need to get real physical with Draymond because as he kind of punked people tonight, you need to punch him back in the butt the very next game on Wednesday.
The thing is, with Draymond's doing exactly like, shout out to French for asking this question. He was like, yo, what's the over-under on Draymond technical fouls? I was like, I'll take the over. If it's 1.5, I'll take the over for the series. Because he's going to get it.
I got very nervous when that little scrimmage happened with Jaylen Brown. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I did too. I was like,
he's going to get another one in Boston. He's going to get another one in Boston, but he's going to do that thing where it's like, hey, they call a tech, and then they're going to make it very difficult to get him out of these games.
Unless he does something crazy.
Unless he's actually punching people in the face.
And not going to get but Dylan, this is what the Boston fans come into play. So you know the Boston fans would try to antagonize you, and it's been known for decades now.
I know, but here's the thing: Draymond will also piss them off at the same time. So Draymond's going to be getting all the crowd, and he's the guy who will embrace that hate and then give it back to your guys on the court. And then if he already has a technical foul and he starts bullying people and getting in your head, he literally told Grant Williams on the free throw line with 3 minutes left in the third quarter that you wish you were me.
Yeah.
Because Grant decided he wanted to open his mouth, and Draymond literally said to him, you wish you were me. So shut the fuck up.
Watch him go on his podcast talking massive shit too. Watch that too.
But like they prepared. He came on his podcast the other day and was like, oh, you guys need to watch film. Did that, doing that today again, and we're doing it tomorrow and the day after, so I don't want to hear nothing. Oh, Draymond, get in the gym. Did that, going back in 3 hours to get another session in. Chill out. We got this. Like, we're gonna go into Game 2 and we're gonna fight back. We're gonna respond. We're gonna punch them in their face because we got punched, and then we're gonna keep it going. It's a tough team. Yep. This is how 7-game series work. This is the NBA Finals. And if there's any team that's built for a 7-game series in the NBA Finals, it's a team that's been there however many times or a goddamn dynasty. But
8
like a boxing match at this point in the series in the season, after you've played 82 games, you've gone through 3 playoff series already, and if you're Boston, you've been in 2 boxing matches already, and you have to go into another one. that doesn't bode well for Boston, fatigue-wise and health-wise. Because you barely had Time Lord in that Milwaukee series. You started getting him in that Miami series, but he was showing signs of, hey, I'm not 100%, and then we're seeing it tonight. Tatum and Brown are eventually going to get winded and fatigued because, again, they just played, 18 playoff games before this series.
Yeah. They've been playing.
It's a tough ask, and they've been playing. And they've been playing well. So it's going to be very difficult to play against this team where Steph is going to average 30 or 28 to 30 points.
Steph's going to average anywhere from 27 to 30.
And then you have other guys who are going to do it. But now it's like with Boston, you have to, especially on the road, because role players don't travel on the road usually. So that game one is like an anomaly, especially because you don't have the Jason Tatum performance. Whereas the Golden State Warriors guys will show up everywhere. They always have. So it's tough to see. I really like the officiating in this game. The officiating was, despite of the bullshit that Anthony's saying about the game being rigged, the officiating was good. They let them play. They took into account, hey, is this actually a technical foul? Like, is this enough to where we would put a technical foul and get Draymond out of this game? That's thoughtful officiating. Like, that's, you pick and choose how like that game gets called, because guess what? They would do the same thing for Boston. Mm-hmm. If it was Grant, if it was Jalen, like,
and you don't want to watch that happen for game 3. And then people will be like, oh, these were the calls that was meant to happen for game 2 against Boston. Hey, this is what the fuck happens when it comes to NBA, the finals. And what are we going to talk about? What's the main reason why they try to stretch out these series? Money and ratings, especially leading towards Father's Day. So,
and they don't want to do anything that's going to take somebody out of the game that could really swing.
Somebody's going to be a winner on Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, somebody's going to be celebrating with their kids. Happy Father's Day, the best Father's Day gift ever. I am an NBA champion, and I get to hold my son with me too. Come on now.
They don't want to swing the series in the favor of somebody. They want to keep it as even as possible. And if they're going out there ejecting people,
and then they'd be like, crazy. You know what? And then like they'd be like a little secret committee, be like, you know what? Who really does need it more? Steph, you guys can easily come at any time where y'all motherfuckers shoot. I think y'all got something set up. But you guys over here, being at 18, y'all can beat the Lakers right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, stick that genie bus.
Like it's. Like I can't. I'm not mad. Like when I saw
why people are so afraid, because it was like, okay, these two are tied for the number of banners and shit like that. So if we get one, then we beat them by one banner. I'm like, I wonder. They probably just might for some weird reason. That's why I said Game 7 situation. You're asking for too much if you're asking for Game 6. That's why I was like, you gotta go with 7, because there's never been an NBA series that ever went to that far of an extent. It's only been a handful of times. Handful of times have you ever seen the NBA Finals go to 7 fucking games?
Yes.
That is true.
The Lakers Celtics.
But how long ago were those?
2008.
It's 15 years ago.
No, it's 2008 and 2010.
Well, we did get a Game 7 with Golden State and Cleveland, though.
Yep.
And how long ago was that one?
6 years.
That's been about 6
years ago.
Yeah.
That's a pretty mean gap.
6 years. Last year went 6. Bubble went what, 5?
Yeah.
Bubble went 5. Toronto went 6, right?
6.
Yeah, and then the other next. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But back to that Draymond play. I also didn't even think that was a shooting foul.
I didn't think it was a foul either, to be honest with you.
Because they literally called Derek White for the same thing down the court for Time Lord. They called Derek White swinging his legs out offensive foul. And the only reason Jaylen Brown fell is because he swung his leg out and it hit Draymond. And that's why he fell. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, that should have been like a non-play. Like, it's just like play on.
Oh.
Nobody gets
and my cousin said he'll be on in 10 minutes and we still on this shit.
Yeah, he needs to get on here so I can tell him how he's wrong. I mean, the whole game I was sitting there, I'm like, all right. I need to let him know.
Dylan was like, yes.
I was like, I'm not trying to plot on anybody's downfall here, but I I gotta let some Celtics fans.
I am. I
got
got Warriors in 7. I was sitting here. I was nervous coming in tonight. I
got Warriors in 6. I got Warriors in 6, but like,
and I'm still sticking with my Celtics in 7.
Yeah, I got Warriors in 6, but when people say things like Jaylen Brown's going to score 20 points a game, like actually,
and
like
Al
every
Horford
game put up 20,
score 20 points a game.
Like that's not going to happen.
That's
like,
kind of overreaching it. That's what everyone is expecting him to do.
Expectations versus reality.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm basically agreeing with you. Like I wasn't even really expecting that. I'm expecting those type of numbers at home games, not away.
Exactly.
It's really going to be something very differential where it's going to be, okay, where did all these points go? Oh, it went to free throws. It went to turnovers. It went to God knows what the fuck else. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. Home games is normally where you see Jaylen and Tatum is going to potentially go up for 25 each. Al Horford
needs to worry about getting these guys to put these games together. Like Tatum and Brown have to put the games together.
That's the one thing about this game too. That I did. I'm like, yo, Tatum was a fucking on and off switch. I was like, Tatum, come on. If you're supposed to be the lead scorer, and you're supposed
Tatum started off slow, but he got hot.
You have to play like one.
Tatum started off slow, but he got hot in the second quarter, and it was like, all right.
that's always what they needed. That's always his MO, though. He always, listen, after halftime, he always come out scorching hot. Why can't they try to transition that during the first 2 quarters and try to maintain that and spread the ball around during the second half?
I mean, so the first half, like Tatum had not Tatum, Brown was the one that really kept them in because he was hot. And then he got cold and Tatum turned it on. The problem is they don't do it together at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Never.
They very rarely play together at the same time. This has always been my problem with these two is they're both good players. They're both great players, right? Like I'm a notorious Jaylen Brown hater, but like they're both great players, right? But they never do it together. And they're both inconsistent. Like, when Jason Tatum's great, he's unbelievable. But when Jason Tatum's bad, he's fucking awful. And then with Brown is one day he's going to give you 30, and the next day he's going to be 15, and he's going to be like a role player.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't keep teetering from star to role player as
superstar
as much as you do, and superstar to star as much as you guys do.
But
yeah, and I think Jason Tatum needs to kind of put this Kobe shit away.
It's a little much.
It's getting ridiculous.
It's a little much. I will say that I don't know if you saw his shirt that he wore to the post game. That shirt was kind of fire. Yes. But this Kobe stuff, it's a little much.
Stop trying to be that and be you, because you're giving yourself these expectations that can really fuck with you down the road. And I think this is kind of what we saw with Devin Booker last year. Where it's like everybody was just saying, "Oh, he's just like Kobe. He's just like Kobe. Just like Kobe." Let these guys be them.
Mm-hmm.
Let Book be Book. Let Tatum be Tatum. Tatum needs to stop trying to be Kobe, and just try to be him. Because he's getting himself lost.
You're right.
And Game 1 is a perfect example of how he got himself lost trying to be something. Just be you and play within the system, play within yourself, and trust your fucking coach. Because that's the only way Boston's going to win is if they trust Ime to make the correct moves. And you're like, hey, if you're making a call for a play with the last 4 seconds on the line, you got to trust him. Because he's the one who got you here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Golden State believes in their coach, and they believe in their culture.
Dylan, I'm not sure if I, as the host, I invited Anthony on tonight. Even in a group chat, I told him to hop on. He says he has to work tomorrow, so we'll live with that.
Wait, what? Wait, Anthony. Wait, Anthony. You see me here in my suit, bro.
Anthony's a professional smoke dodger.
Stop it. Stop it. What's that supposed to mean, Dylan?
He's a professional smoke dodger. He just dodges all the smoke.
He's
really good.
Yeah.
He's really good at not facing shit.
Series, but at least he came on and he actually voiced it. He didn't have to see his face.
Yeah, Anthony's one of those guys where he says things And then if he's wrong,
Yo, Mike, you would not
won't
want me to
see
bring
him.
that gift and open the door. Open the door, Anthony. I want to talk to you.
You won't see him. If he says something that's just like, it's tough, and he's wrong about it, he will not show his face and eat shit. Where it's like, all of us have to eat shit. Like, we say these things,
man,
we're in the business of eating shit.
Hey, listen, I did for 2 rounds. I did for 2 fucking rounds. So you never got rid of me.
We're literally in the business of eating shit. We make predictions and we eat shit when we're wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike literally ate a fucking hot chip and almost died because he was wrong.
Still can't believe that you ate that shit in one bite. And he's like, "Oh, I'm a man. That's why." I'm like, Mike. Shut the fuck up.
Like,
Listen.
it's like we all do it. Like, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I gotta eat shit. I'm not wrong a lot, but I'm wrong.
Hey, listen, man, I can be wrong too. Fuck.
Yeah.
But
I'm here every week. I'm here every fucking week.
We're here every week.
Eating
and I
shit.
just brought this up because Anthony was wrong about tonight's game and proceeded to say that this game was rigged. And me and Dylan could not understand how this game was rigged. I mean, there's nothing rigged about Steph Curry scoring. Oh, thank you, ESPN. Steph Curry scoring 14 points in the third quarter. Jordan Poole going nuclear in the third quarter and hitting half-court shots at the buzzer. Like, there's nothing rigged about that. And then
baby Clay from out of nowhere.
One team hitting shots and the other team not.
And then in response to us saying, how is the game? Everyone's talking about this game being rigged. Anthony, do you have that? Dylan, you got that graphic for me? Do you have that graphic?
Wait, hold on. This is a graphic?
This is Anthony's response that everyone is saying that this game was rigged.
Oh, a guy named Irish Eyes, who's a Celtics fan, who's mad that the game ended. Or this way, John Kavanaugh, who is also just a empty avatar fake person.
Yeah.
NBA games with huge scoring swings and wildly inconsistent referee calls do make the game seem rigged. So scoring swings, teams miss shots and don't score and have nothing to do with referee and inconsistent referee calls. Didn't I just make the point that Boston had one more foul call called than Golden State did? That's down the middle officiating. Like, if I've ever seen it. And I think for the free throw differential, Boston shot 13 for 17 and Golden State shot 14 for 20. So they shot 7 more free throws, but the officiating was down the fucking middle.
Rigged?
The NBA is so friggin' rigged, it's disgusting.
Because you're mad because Draymond didn't get technical?
A 20-point loss a rigging? Anyways, it had to be 1-1 tonight. The NBA is rigged. Again, what are you talking about, Omar? You fucking idiot. Charlie Rao, completely embarrassed for the Celtics. Gives so much credence on whatever it is. Who claimed this shit is rigged? Celtics in 5. Right, Charlie. You're fucking stupid too.
Celtics in
Charlie,
5.
that's an overreach, buddy. I'm sorry. Like, even from a Celtics family, that's an overreach.
This is what happens when the casual side of Celtics Twitter comes out and that don't really know basketball or the team that plays for them and just like blindly roots for a team.
Be like, wait. That last week, the only that was done for the whole.
All right, Blackheart, you are going sick right now.
Hey, you are underwater, sir.
Who, me?
Yeah, we heard nothing of what you just said.
None of that rant. Looks like you are also frozen. Blackheart disagreed with Celtics Twitter, and now they've come for his neck. They've
doxed him
for his neck. How dare you betray Celtics Twitter?
I don't know what's going on.
Because I have to deal with Nets Twitter like that too. But like Nets Twitter isn't as bad as that because there's no casual Nets fans. Like we just don't exist.
No. This is
Nets fans are
WWE trying to get
Nets
back at me for last season type shit. So they trying to go after me any chance that I get.
So it's like that's the cesspool of shitty casual Celtics Twitter. Just like this game's rigged, move on.
And shitty booking
No,
too.
Nothing rigged about a game where your team just misses shots. Like
and turnovers was the main factor of this loss.
Like they had a
Like,
bad.
I don't know like what more y'all really want me to say. The turnovers killed us.
Like tell me you don't
us.
understand basketball without telling me you don't understand basketball. That's how it happens. That's what happens. You say shit's
That's
rigged
like telling
when
me
it's
I don't know anything about baseball, and I kind of don't. No, I mean,
like Anthony. Anthony tried to tell me I didn't watch the game. I'm like, you sir, I know you didn't watch the game. I actually know you didn't watch the game, so you can't tell me these things. You just see the outrageous box score, and then you're just like, oh, I'm gonna run with the narrative.
Exactly. Then you hop on Twitter and you're like, oh, this must be what's happening. Like, no, those are just angry Celtics fans.
Don't understand.
I mean, I'm sure they would have said Game 1 was rigged until the fourth quarter, when all of a sudden Boston couldn't miss.
Nothing rigged there. It was a great game.
Dun, dun, dun.
But man, imagine one team just being bad that day. Like it's okay, that shit happens.
Bad day at the office, man. Listen, if wrestlers can do it, anyone can do it.
That shit happens. So what goes on now is you get on your flight, you go back home, you get acclimated to the time, you rest, you see your family, and you go back to TD Garden and you punch back.
Which perfect segue, Dylan. Perfect segue, Dylan. Preview Game 3. How you feeling about Game 3? I think the Celtics are going to win Game 3.
I think Celtics win Game 3. I think you get a better performance out of Smart. I think this may be that Peyton Pritchard game that I'm kind of like trying to will into existence for whatever reason. The Peyton Pritchard game.
He said will into existence.
I'm trying to will it into. I'm trying to speak it into the world that the Peyton Pritchard game is going to happen.
I think that's going to be like a Game 4 type of thing. For some weird reason, I think because Game 3 has to be Jason Tatum's game. He needs to be okay. I got smacked in the mouth. Compared to the last game, I did not play well. I have to play well for Game 3. So I'm gonna.
If you take a look at Tatum's stats tonight, besides his 4 turnovers, he played really well. He played a great game. It's just nobody else did. Nobody else did.
Right.
And he also didn't get a fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He didn't get a fourth quarter because if he would have got a fourth quarter, he probably would have finished with close to 40. But Ime waved the white flag to prevent any of his guys from getting hurt because it was a 30-point game. So, like, I think you'll get a better performance out of Marcus Smart, or I hope you get a better performance out of Marcus Smart, because what we've been seeing all playoffs is if we come out and say that's not going to happen again, it absolutely happens again. Shout out to James.
Listen, man, Jalen too.
Yeah,
Jalen needs to put those two. The Boston Celtics will not win this series unless they put these games together at the same time.
Yes,
they can't keep expecting one person to go off and the other person to go off
every
other game and expect to win.
Yeah, no, we can't do that.
Trade off against
we can't trade off. We can't do that.
Because Golden State's not going to trade off. They're all going to do it.
They both need to play at the same time. They both need to be like, yo, we are the 1-2 punches here, and we have to own up to it.
Here's what you may also see Ime do. You might see them stagger their minutes more.
He might stagger. That's the
only thing I can think of.
Listen, and Dylan, right? I would listen, and I would be okay with that because I'm like, we got young stars. It's not like we have like any like older veterans. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a mixed blend off the bench too. So you can easily do that, though. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep up with stuff. Just try to keep up with Jordan. Just try to keep up with Wiggins.
Yeah, you got to be able to keep your guys on the court, but because together it just seems like it's not like working well. So this should be the time where it's like, all right, pick and choose who you're going to pick out. Be the first person off the bench and take out Tatum or Brown. Probably Derek White. So if you're leaving Tatum out there, replace Tatum.
I think Derek White needs to start first. Derek White needs to be made the starter.
Over Smart?
Save Marcus off the bench.
I understand what you're saying because actually in 2 games he's outplaying Marcus Smart, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can make that move yet. If this
But
happens again in
no,
game three,
but listen though.
then maybe.
But if they do that though, you're preserving Smart from making their turnover mistakes early. You know what I'm saying? And then you can just manufacture the miss between him and White at the same time. Like you can still do that.
Oh, we got him.
Oh,
Oh,
our,
oh,
our, our other
late to
Celtics
the party.
correspondent, late to the party, but came to get.
Yo, can
I
y'all
just
hear
want
me?
to hear him explain what's
And
going
my
Yeah,
on
forever
we can hear you.
all the way.
champion of the world.
We hear you, Trey. How's it going?
What's good? What's good?
I would
should've
just like to
told-
start
I
off
should
by
have told
saying
you.
I told you, Trey.
Wait.
Go
Dylan,
ahead.
first. I should have hit you up and be like, "Yo, bro, cuz make me a plate." That's what I should have done earlier.
I knew this was coming.
I was asleep.
I just want to start off by telling you I told you Jaylen Brown wasn't going to score 20 every game.
He had 17 points. So
That's not 20.
Technically, you were right.
Technically,
about-
in all actuality, I was right.
Oh
He
no!
played
In all actuality, I was right.
standard minute.
But like, hey,
Standard minute.
well, you guys got blown out in the third quarter. So like, why are you playing these guys? So like, there's no like. This is how I've been watching Celtics basketball. Like, probably not as much as you because I'm not a Celtics fan because I don't care that much. But I've been a notorious Jaylen Brown hater his whole career. So like, I watch these guys closely for things like this, and it's inconsistency between these two, Tatum and Brown, not being able to put games together. And you guys aren't going to win the series unless you guys can put good games together at the same time, right? Like, that's the only way it's going to happen against this team. But it's also was finally pointed out on the broadcast. Like, after the game, Wilbon and Stephen A. are sitting there like, these guys don't play well together at the same time ever. And I'm like, oh, thank you, national media, for... I was like, thank you, national media, for finally covering something I've been saying for 3 months. Like, this is what happens. So, like, I hope for Boston's sake that they can figure it out. I just made the suggestion that, like, you stagger their minutes more, keep one on the court and off the court, and then the fourth quarter you play them together so they could both kind of try to put these performances together, like, more consistently. But I don't know. We'll see, especially because the bigs got torched tonight on the perimeter. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what Ime does as the adjustment going into Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much we just got blown out starting in the third quarter. So it's like, what can you do after like a 12-point game? It's like, okay, that's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be insurmountable. It's supposed to be doable, yeah. And then when it becomes a 15-point game, 17-point game, 20-something point game, all right, we're getting out of here. So it's like I already knew going into the series, that's not how you want to be in a game versus Golden State. And like even being up by like 5-7 points, that's never safe. So I mean, I already knew. I called. We would like, we'd had the ability to steal the game one. So I was happy about that. I wanted to win this game, and I didn't like what I really saw in the second half. We went.
It was a lot of bad basketball.
I mean, we were down by 2 points. Going into that second half.
And then what a swing!
I do think it was a more physical game than game one. I'm not going to complain about the officiating, but I think the Celtics should have taken some opportunities to knock some dudes upside the head a little more, because that's how
they were being allowed to. So it's like,
if it's going to not get called one way, then do the same shit to them. That's what
it's been consistent, but the officiating today was consistent. From an outsider's perspective, from somebody who's not really rooting for either team, I could like look at the officiating and be like, all right, I'm okay with this. I was okay with the officiating tonight. Like, there was nothing that was like egregious or anything that happened.
I thought Draymond Green specifically was Draymond Green.
So this is what happens with Draymond, right?
But then we kind of expected that from Draymond, though, regardless. That's his MO. That's his MO anyway.
Obviously, they were Draymond fouls, but
Here's what we need to understand about Draymond Green, and this is what a lot of people are going to start to really see. He's going to sacrifice, get that first tech early, and he's not going to get kicked out of the game.
That was interesting because had it been earlier in the game, they would have called that a double technical and moved on.
If it was if he already didn't have one, it's a double tech and you keep moving. Yeah.
If he didn't have a tech, no doubt in my mind they would have called that a double technical.
It's kind of unnecessary. Like I was saying to myself, it's just a play on. But
I didn't think there was a foul on that play at all.
I didn't think it was a foul.
Yeah, me neither.
It's about the game, man. I don't
But
care.
do you think would you say this game was rigged?
Would I say the game was rigged?
Yeah, would you say those words?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. We got one of our guys saying the game was fucking rigged.
I would say that the NBA would have interest in tying up the series, but I wouldn't say that's rigged. Like, so many things have to happen for something to be rigged.
Rigged, exactly. The only thing that happened today is Boston didn't make shots, and Golden State
did. Let them play a little bit differently, or called the game a little differently than game one, perhaps. That's just how shit can go. But
I didn't think the refs really had their fingerprints on this game at all. Like, the officiating was called down the middle, like to the T. Boston had one more foul called against them than Golden State did all game. So it's like it was just a physical game. That's what the NBA Finals is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough one. It's a tough one to really be on one side of this, because I can understand as a fan why I'd be pissed off at it. But it's like, objectively, the only real thing that happened is Boston played like shit tonight.
Yeah.
They played one half of basketball.
The second half we played bad. Tatum had 28 points. Brown ended up with 17. They both had freaking almost 20 shots and only made Brown made 5 and Tatum made like 7. Like, they can obviously be better than that. The surrounding cast can be better than that. And then the second half, when you're down 12, like I said, you can't get down 12 in the first place. But if you get down 12, you got to get that lead under 12. You can't let that become 20-something. Like,
the only abnormal thing I saw really in Boston's play tonight was Marcus Smart didn't play well. Everything else on here is like normal to me, where it's like, all right.
Marcus Smart had 2 points.
Yeah, that was the only real abnormality. Like, Derek White came back to earth and put up his normal stuff in 12. Like, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. If Marcus Smart has 18 points, the game's a little bit closer and everybody's playing in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then naturally Jalen would have stepped up a little bit more and would have had his 20 points.
Yeah, well, he went cold, so
you got to get yourself into that in the first place by making it a close game. You can't play around Golden State.
I think he scored 1 basket in the third quarter, and he took like 5 shots.
I know
something around there.
Half. I know Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum had 9 points.
They had 9 points total in the second half.
So that's not going to cut it. Granted, I don't know how much they played in the fourth quarter because the game was over. But still, that's not going to.
But if you get the normal production out of Marcus Smart, then we get something different. But everything else with the Celtics was like kind of what you expect. This is a Celtics playoff game. They play really well the first game, and then they get punched in the mouth the next game, and then they're gonna punch back.
Now we got to see exactly. Now we got to see what happens in game 3.
And then it's just gonna be back and forth. This is Celtics basketball. What it's become.
Has to be expected.
I already know, Trey, we don't even have to ask you because we already went around. We're all in unison that we're all picking the Celtics to win game 3. Do I even have to ask you who's winning game 3?
Wait. Say that again.
We all picked the Celtics. We all picked the Celtics to win game 3. Who you got in game 3?
I mean, of course we can win game 3. I mean, come on now.
I love the optimism.
Now our record, like the whole playoffs on the road and shit, would tell you like, nah, like
y'all don't lose back to backs.
But I like what Jason Brown had to say after the game when asked about this. Like, that's exactly what I feel. It's like pretty much like the past is the past. Like, this is a whole new series, and like what happened on the road versus at home in the past has nothing to do with the series. Like, go home, you take care of business. That's all that needs to be done. You need to execute on both ends. Our defense was solid the first half. It wasn't good enough for the second half, and they didn't execute well enough in the second half. Like, Golden State You can't let like Steph Curry one shot. He makes one shot. He starts showboating, and I used to be able to like like that at some point, but like man, do I hate that when you're going up against it. Like I like Steph Curry back in like 2015, 2016, and it's
But when he hits you with his shimmy, that's when you know.
And I hated Golden State when they got KD.
Damn.
But now it's time for them to prove themselves again. Time for them to prove themselves without KD. They got back to the finals. And here we are. So,
Trey, I have a question for you now.
Why Boston can't take it?
I have a question for you now, since you've been here for this your second one with us, and you had your way too early Finals MVP ratings. Now that all your Finals MVP guys fucking sucked it up today, what's your top three Finals or your top three for Finals MVP right now?
Come on, Dylan, man. Why you gotta do that?
As I said last time, Steph Curry will probably have close to a 20 game at 29. So he would move to number one. Now he's number one. Now Al Horford, I said he would not hold this up the whole series. There's no way he's winning Finals MVP, especially not over Jaylen Brown. So Derek White had 14 points. So Jaylen Brown's number two. As predicted, I will put Jaylen Brown number two and Jordan Poole perhaps number three. Or, I'm trying to think somebody from the Warriors who had like a solid game today that had a good solid game the first game. Clay sucked.
Clay had 4 less points.
He's still a shell of himself the way he was 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, but like it's Steph Curry's award to lose. To me. It's Steph Curry's award to lose.
Damn.
So right now it's definitely Steph Curry. As I said, like the first game he had 34, it was a loss. But he was in the running at that point. And then all they had to do was tie it up. And he's gonna get credit for tying it up. So right now he takes the lead for Finals MVP.
So here's how I interpret your list, right? Al Horford was gonna be gone, right? And I thought Jaylen Brown was gonna be like 3. And I was gonna put Derek White at 2 because Derek White has consistently be that. He's played well. For what Derek White's role has been, he's exceeded expectations going into this playoff series so far. And having the game he had game 1 and then playing really, really well tonight. And then Jaylen Brown playing really, really well game 1 and then like kind of laying an egg compared to what he did. So it's like, all right, for me, Derek White goes up there. Jason Tatum is like 4 because he had a really good game tonight. But Jaylen Brown, I think if Jaylen Brown puts up another like game like this and Tatum puts up a better game in game 3, Jaylen Brown's now off the top 4 list. As long as Derek White's able to put up like another 14-point game and play good defense.
I feel like how did Derek White shoot tonight?
From 3, he shot 50%, and he shot 4 for 13.
4 for 13. 4 for 13. Yeah. Nah, that's
Jaylen Brown shot 5 for 15, and then last game, Jaylen Brown shot fucking terrible and still put up 27. Points. In game 1?
Derek White had 14 points, right?
Tonight he had 12.
12 points. Yeah, that's
12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
I think you're trying to get a little crazy when it comes to Jaylen Brown.
I mean, I'm just trying to have you hold Jaylen Brown accountable for not playing great.
I would.
17 points.
I mean, I would to some extent, but also Tatum was also other too.
To like 25 easy.
Jaylen Brown 5 for 17, 3 for 9. Derek White 4 for 13. So similar shooting splits, but we're gonna go ahead and talk 3-point percentage. Derek White was better, and he played less minutes.
To give Jaylen
okay, so they were both terrible.
MVP.
Like they're terrible. They were both terrible today. Nobody was better than the other at all today. Like,
I mean, I thought Derek White played better than Jaylen Brown in game 1 because he shot a better percentage too.
Jaylen Brown had 5 assists in the fourth quarter and 10 points. He's the reason why we won the game. If not for his performance, we don't win the first game. at all.
I agree.
I'll agree with that. But
Timing
we have to acknowledge here. But I will go on and say, fuck that. Without Derek White, you don't win game 1 because he shot a perfect 4 for 4 from 3, played defense. He had every timely shot in the fucking world. Jaylen Brown's inconsistent ass shooting fucking like 8 for 24 from the field is not why you won. Derek White's 20-something that you're not supposed to get out of a bench guy is why you guys won that game.
And then somebody else
or Al Horford 6 for 8. Al Horford 6 for 8 was more meaningful than Jaylen Brown's 8 for 24.
No, it wasn't.
If Al Horford doesn't go 6 for 8, you guys don't win that game.
We was down by like 12 points going into the fourth quarter. Just like we was down by
3, 6, 9, 12, 15,
and
18 points.
Willed us back into the game, and Al Horford helped us get back into the game, and then we just took over.
And Derek White didn't. And Derek White didn't.
That's on JV.
Let's not recreate history here.
And
let's not act like
this is why we're never going to get Jaylen Brown on this podcast.
Derek White, I'll give 3 unless you can give me a Golden State Warrior who deserves Finals MVP. And just because Poole was skipping around tonight, don't really mean shit.
I'm just saying, give respect to Derek White. Give more respect to Derek White because he's been phenomenal.
I love the Derek White trade.
I love that trade when you guys made it. I said that's super underrated because Derek White's great.
Said,
so did
that it wasn't a good trade.
So did me.
Literally, I said when we did our trade deadline show, I said the most underrated trade of the trade deadline is Derek White going to Boston. That one's not talked about nearly enough.
Yeah, people were talking about what we gave up as far as pick swaps and like all of that.
Picks don't matter in the NBA. Who cares?
It's like it's a pick swap in 2028 with the San Antonio Spurs. So
2028. That's 6 years from now. That's a 11-year-old.
As bad as we are at that point. So
that's an 11-year-old.
Why would they want to swap?
Who cares about draft picks? Trade that motherfucker for Derek White. Go ahead, hypothetical 11-year-old. Go live your life. I'm going to get Derek White.
Yeah.
If you don't have a top 5 draft pick, your pick doesn't matter.
So I'm not worried about it.
Go get Derek White. He's great. He deserves more respect. Derek White over Jaylen Brown for Finals MVP.
Damn.
But it's Steph Curry.
That's a real overreach now, Dylan.
I mean, it's not. If you have to put them like their performances and expectations like versus reality, who's outperformed their expectations? Who's outperformed their expectations? Who has outperformed their expectations?
Doesn't matter though. Who's performed?
What was who?
Derek White.
And it's only been 2 games.
If we do 2 games, I think Derek White has a higher 3-point percentage and a higher field goal percentage.
I don't know. I don't know if I would give it to have him above Jaylen Brown right now.
Yeah,
very, very close, but I don't know if I would.
But here's the thing: even if you don't agree with me, you just said it was close.
Listen, it all comes down to the next 2 games and see what happens there.
Yes.
Then we have discussion by Friday, which I will be off Friday night, by the way, too. So I will be at my station respectfully
with the green backdrop.
Yes, with my green fucking backdrop.
Jaylen Brown and Tatum put the games together.
Mike, I got my light, so now my green screen works perfectly now. So, yeah. Yeah. So I'll be, respectfully comfy. Well, so when that happens, yeah.
But
fuck fuck SmackDown, fuck Rampage, and then I'm watching my finals.
Yeah, I hope for Celtics fans' sake, JB and Tatum put a games together, and we get a good series out of that.
I hope for Boston's sake they don't. They split. For Boston's sake, Jason Tatum has a good game 3 and Brown has a good game 4 because they're both good enough to win by themselves.
But here's the thing: they're good to win by themselves.
What you guys just said. Wait, but what you guys just said. And exactly what Dylan just said before, he beat me to it. They need to play together in order for you to win these type of games. You cannot have Jalen going off for one game and Tim going off for going off another. They need to play both, and they need to do both. That's the only way.
Neither one of these guys are like Giannis, where they could dominate themselves and consistently have a 40-point game every game and literally carry guys scoring 14 points. Neither one of these guys are that. Like, and I don't even think Giannis is skilled, right? But he is dominant enough to just score 40 points at the rim.
That's what happens when you're the best player in the league.
When you could just be stronger, run into people full speed, and just dunk the ball, you're the best. That's cool.
Best player in the league. Drop
Trey, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Trey. But no, like neither one of them are that. I know Tatum can erupt for 50 at any point, and I know Tatum can put up 40. But like I expect the 50-point game out of Tatum in this series at some point. But if everybody's just gonna score 15, like you're not gonna win.
No.
You're not going to win. And I know Trey's sitting there cussing up a storm trying to yell at me.
But listen, though, but for real, it has to be Brown and Tatum has to go off respectively for 25 or over when it comes to that. Smart needs to just play that pesky fucking defense. I don't care about his shooting. I just care about the old game that he used to fucking play. We all know he's not a three-point shooter, so I'm not expecting him to try to go all crazy out.
He's a good three-point shooter. He is. He shouldn't be shooting more threes than everybody, but he is a very good three-point shooter.
No, there's only selective shooting that he can do when it comes to three-point shots that he cannot do what most motherfuckers can do. That's just it.
I mean, when it comes to spotting up and shooting threes, I think Smart can do that very well.
I would put my money on Derrick White before Smart.
Marcus Smart is a very good three-point shooter.
I'm not convinced.
I mean, he's a 40% three-point shooter.
I'm not fucking convinced. He's on the outskirts. I'd rather put my money on Derrick White before my own Smart.
I wouldn't say he's a very good three-point shooter, but he is a good three-point shooter.
If he's open, knock it down. He can.
I don't see. I'm not 100% confident when he's wide open if he's gonna make it, but
I don't know what you're watching because I've seen enough where it's like, oh, Marcus Smart's open, that's knocked down.
I know he's not afraid to take that shot, and I know
he's not afraid to make that shot. Marcus Smart's the fucking man. Marcus Smart.
Love Marcus Smart.
I was searching for his jersey earlier too. As a matter of fact, so I ain't gonna lie.
Trey, did you have something to say about Giannis being the best player in the world? Because that's what he is.
Really? Until LeBron actually hangs up his crown, then you can dub a new king for that crown.
Can
we at least get the reigning king when he says that, okay, I'm done, and then he goes off into the sunset? You can't just do that shit right now.
I mean,
listen, I am a huge LeBron.
I love
fan,
LeBron.
As anyone who watches this show
knows. And I'm
going to be realistic.
At the same time, I can just give him his respect.
There's one thing about giving respect, but he's not the best player in the league anymore. He's top 10.
He's
not anymore.
I would still say, arguably top 7.
But I would still say this, right? Until when the king actually puts off this crown, I'd be like, okay, I'm right off into the sunset. He's still the king.
I personally think Joel Embiid's the best player in the world. But
who?
Joel Embiid.
Come on.
Damn. Okay. Nope. Now you really fucked that one up.
I think Joel Embiid, if he had anybody on the team who played as hard as he did in that series, half as hard as he did, with broken face, torn ligaments in his thumb, broken everything,
still didn't get rewarded with MVP.
That's a very close award.
It was close.
That's a very close.
Let's not act like Joker did not have an all-time
unbelievable
season. Like he really did.
He
didn't have Jamal Murray the whole year.
Embiid would get it this year, man.
I thought Embiid was going to win it. I thought Joker deserved to win it. So when Joker won, I was like, well.
And the MVP isn't the best player in the world award. Like it's not. It's a value award.
That's why Giannis is still the best player in the world.
Steve Nash won it twice.
That was just straight up armed robbery.
Well, the first, yeah.
I would say both of them.
No, he won twice. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but both of them, he probably should not have won either.
No. But Giannis probably won't win another one.
He might not unless he
I still have a case that he just might be able to win at least one more.
The problem
he
is
might get one more.
He might get one more, but he's. I think he's already got voter fatigue. I don't think they're going to vote for him anymore.
Because he had a ridiculous year.
Same thing for LeBron James, but what the fuck happened with that?
LeBron won't ever. LeBron should have arguably had it the year James.
LeBron should have won it last year, not last year, 2 years ago, the bubble year.
Yeah, LeBron won't get the consideration anymore.
LeBron should have won that one.
LeBron won't get the consideration anymore.
No, because LeBron honestly.
And that's what happens though when you do it for so many times. You're like, oh my god,
never.
Same person over and over and over again. Now we got to switch this shit up.
The only way LeBron will win MVP again is if the Lakers are the number 1 seed and he is dominating.
Right.
And he
That's
plays
the only way.
And he plays almost every single damn game.
But the fact that we have to put that stipulation for LeBron to win, where these guys are winning MVPs as 4 seeds,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's a different award now.
Wow. Hey, it's crazy.
Like Jokic put up was it 1,500 season. The first time that's ever been done.
That LeBron's never even done.
Ever done.
Is amazing.
And then he goes and he brings this team of fucking Bones Highland and Will Barton to the playoffs.
To play Steph Curry.
Steph Curry in the first round.
And promptly got packed up.
But that's because Jokic doesn't play defense and was getting bullied by Draymond. Like the whole series. Yeah. But here's Joel Embiid.
Felt bad for Embiid.
Here's Embiid doing everything he can to try to will this team together. James Harden refuses to shoot shots in the second half.
I felt bad for Joel, but I didn't feel bad for Joel because if he had just shut his mouth and been a good teammate to Ben Simmons, they might be playing right now.
Yeah. That team was good enough.
Right now.
That team was good enough. But him and Doc fucked that up.
Wait, what team?
Last year's Sixers team.
Last year's Sixers team should have gotten to the finals last year. Yes.
Are we gonna don't do this bullshit?
No,
do this bullshit.
No, listen, stop.
Where we act like Ben Simmons isn't a more accomplished player than anybody on the Celtics.
He's more accomplished, but I don't know if he's better.
Are we really having this conversation?
No.
How many All-Stars?
Yo, have you been smoking over there, buddy? Have you been smoking some crack over there?
Series, so it would have happened. I'm tired of the excuses. I wanted Ben Simmons to play in the Brooklyn Nets series because he was able to play. Let's be straight up.
Yeah?
I don't know if he was.
We're going to act like he just didn't have back surgery?
He had back surgery like a week after the series was over.
All of a sudden, we need back surgery and shit.
I mean, you don't need if you're not hurt, you don't get back surgery. But I guess if you're hurt, you get back surgery.
People don't just get back surgery to get back surgery.
I mean, I wanted Ben Simmons to play, but like, if he's not playing, he's not playing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and
listen. He's straining his back, having sex with Tinashe and shit. So that's how the whole thing got fucked up in the fucking first place. He knows that.
Ben Simmons is arguably the best defensive player in the NBA when healthy.
When he's healthy though.
When healthy,
he can't stay healthy though. That's the problem.
Based on what? One season where he doesn't play because he mental health his way out of Philly and then is doing this back surgery shit so he get paid?
Mental health. So are we gonna say the same thing about Ben Simmons and the same thing about Kyrie too? Because they both had mental.
Ben Simmons spent all season
too. Yes.
Ben Simmons spent all season trying to get traded from Philly, and is trying to get his contract from Philly. So now they're doing the back thing is the reason he's trying to get his contract. That's why. When your head coach and your best player are literally throwing you under the bus in the middle of playoff series, that shit's not great. Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend Ben Simmons because you have to be mentally stronger than that. He's a mental midget, and I will say that every chance I get. He's a mentally weak player. But let's just not act like we forgot that Ben Simmons, when he plays basketball, is unbelievable. Is not one of the smartest basketball IQs in the NBA.
All three of us would kill to have him on our team. It just so happens that Dylan has him on his. Because I would kill for Ben Simmons to be on the Knicks. And if Ben Simmons was on the Celtics, yeah, we could wrap it up. We could just give the Celtics the trophy right now.
Because guess who's following Steph Curry around and giving him fits?
And letting Marcus Smart shut Jordan Poole down. Like, You could just
Yeah, but
forget about it.
we definitely have to give him Williams, Naismith, one other player off the bench, and a draft pick to try and get
Yeah,
him.
but here's the thing, like you also get like
That I
Ben
mean, because
Simmons is
that
literally a better version of
would have been the
Draymond.
way, but his contract was way too much, and
Ben
we wasn't
Simmons
going
is
to.
he's
And we wasn't
literally
going
a
to start
better
covering
version
him
of
later.
Draymond. If you really think about it, Ben Simmons is literally a better version of Draymond. He's a more athletic Draymond. He's more powerful at attacking the rim. He's a better facilitator. He's what happens if Draymond Green is like a real athlete.
Had offensive skills.
It's just he can't shoot. But I saw him score 40-something on nothing but dunks and
Connection
fucking layups.
sucks right now.
So let's
That's
not
all
act
right,
like Ben
Trey.
Simmons isn't great.
We about to wrap this up anyway.
When he wants to be, motherfucker. How about that? Tell him that.
I mean, let's see how he comes back from back surgery.
Hey, let's see.
He had back
That's why
surgery.
see the things about back is they're a fucking mystery.
You can't fuck up your back. My back is fucked up from fucking golf yesterday, and I'm sitting here icy hot in that bitch.
Man, fuck that. Oh, because of golf. No, stop it.
180 golf balls, Blackheart. My stupid ass paid for 180 golf balls, not realizing how many that actually is. And I was there for like an hour and a half, just hitting golf balls. And eventually Janice was like, hey, how many golf balls do you think you hit a minute? I was like, I don't know, like 15. And I'm just putting them on the tee, just swinging while I'm bent over, just like, how many did I get? Now my back is tight.
Put on that back brace.
I got a respect for all those
Put
old
on
guys
that back
who are
brace.
sitting here playing
Put
fucking
on that
golf.
back brace, Dylan.
Whole lot of respect for those old white dudes golfing. That shit's tough. It's not physically demanding all the time, but man, your back hurts.
When it is, it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
Especially when you're driving the ball 200 yards.
I like to just take your head. I like to just take your head and just use your shit as a fucking tennis ball. Just a
I
big
tried to
turkey
Happy
leg for
Gilmore a couple
baseball bat.
shots,
Boop.
and boy, did I fucking miss a lot trying
That's
to
probably
Happy
how
Gilmore.
you threw your back out right there.
I was like, get in your hole! And I tried to hit some, and it just didn't.
Also, Happy Gilmore shit. Motherfucker, it's your hole. It's your hole right
And
there.
Janice is just sitting there eating fried dough, just like, you got this.
She's sitting there, yeah, babe, woo.
She's like, you got this. She's like, next time, what did you learn? I was like, next time I'm gonna buy like 40 balls, but like it was $20.
For
And the other
180?
buckets were like 12. So it's like there's better value in getting this 180 ball bucket.
And have your back screaming at you
Yeah, and I got a ton of blisters
from the club. Goodness.
You better be wearing the fucking gloves.
No, I'm serious. I literally said, I was like, oh, this is why they fucking do it. Like, it's literally baseball. I'm like, I'm just gonna get a pair of baseball gloves and just bring them to the fucking driving range. Because once I figured out that swing, I was swinging backwards. I saw some old white dude swing. I was like, oh, my left arm's got to be straight. Got it. Whoosh. Gone 200 yards.
Yo,
Figured it out.
I wouldn't want to be Tiger Woods.
Hey,
Phil
man.
Nicholson. Phil Nicholson.
yeah, I can hear y'all.
I'm Arnold Palmer. That's me. Got my Arnie Palmy, my iced tea in my hand. We're out here.
No, my God.
Getting into some white people shit. Let's play some golf.
He had to pull up with the iced tea, too.
Y'all know what it is. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. That notifications.
Especially for Dylan's old ass.
Yeah, I'm 28. I'm 28 years old, still the youngest person on the pod.
Not with them back problems.
But man, once we hit 30, we've hit old head territory.
No, you hit midlife crisis territory.
Hit old head territory. That's when you show up to the basketball courts on Saturdays. Like, hey, oh, hey, you running? That's what we mean in 2 years. Old head territory.
El Trey, I don't know how your connection's doing, but we're gonna give you the solo to say your goodbyes.
Till Wednesday.
Appreciate y'all for having me on for game 2. I'm gonna see y'all. Probably see y'all for game 3. see what happens. I'm confident for Game 3. I'm confident in my team. I think Tatum and Jalen and the whole squad is going to bounce back. It's going to be a closer game, so we'll see what happens.
Blackheart.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's your boy Blackheart, the head honcho off the Top Roast Podcast. We're still on summer vacation, boys. We back July 29th. Big Mike, you ain't shit. I'm coming back from my title. I'll be here for Game 3 Wednesday in this particular work environment. So I will do it again until when I hit my studio on Friday for Game 4. Like, share, subscribe, show love to the boys here. Shout out to Dylan, shout out to Mike. Enoch, stop with the petty bets. Anthony, stop hiding when it comes to these shits. Frenchie, get your service or Mr. No Socials, I guess. Well, I'm gonna have to find him and fly him a kite. Well, we'll see y'all in a few days.
I think Game 3 is going to be close. I think everybody's going to perform the way they need to perform. Hopefully, Brown and Tatum can put up 20 pieces together and make it a really good game. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all for coming in. Trey, Blackheart, it's always fun. Yeah, good time. Let's see how this goes.
Dylan, take down these goddamn Jets flyers, man. I just hate seeing these shits around.
Jets, Jets.
I don't mind them. I don't mind them.
Oh, God. I just can't stand the green, bro.
I bleed green, sir.
You don't bleed green. You're supposed to be bleeding red and blue, motherfucker.
Watch me cut myself open and see all the green and Jets logos that come out. Because, boy,
so you're definitely a mutant then. And that's the case.
When it comes to these guys, absolutely. You haven't met Jet Fan Dylan yet. It's a wild thing.
Is that
look up for you guys?
Let me look at this. Is that your X-Men name?
Let me tell you the hierarchy of my life. Are you ready, Blackheart? Mike,
yeah.
Put everybody together. Put everybody.
Yeah.
Put us all back up.
Wait. Your hierarchy.
Your hierarchy for life.
Wait till you hear this, Blackheart. Wait till you hear this.
Do I really need to?
Yes. So
why? Why you gotta punish me like this?
Depending on the day.
Oh no,
right?
Dylan,
my
stop.
hierarchy goes the Jets.
God damn it.
My kids, and then Janice. Janice is my fiance.
What? Wait.
Depending on the day, the Jets, Jaden and Camila, and Janice.
You said the weakest team in the AFC over your own team.
Jaguars exist. Stop it.
Just because you only won one championship in your whole franchise career, are you nuts?
The Jets, my kids, Janice. But a weekend like this weekend,
Janice, you need to disengage me from this man because he does not appreciate your ass at all.
We've been together for 11 years. It ain't happening. She's here. If we have a weekend like we had this weekend where Jaden got the game ball because he made 0 errors and went 2 for 3 at his game, super proud of him. It's my kids, the Jets, then Janice.
Yeah, but the Jets have been treating you. The Jets have been treating you worse.
Awful. I'm an abusive relationship. They've only been good 3 times in my life. But this is what happens when you're in an abusive relationship. You keep going back. Like it's literally just what happens.
Bro, you sound like most of these hood bitches that's everywhere.
Exactly. It's not healthy. I'm in a toxic relationship.
Stop.
I'm in a toxic relationship, and I completely understand that the Johnson families and the Jets over on One Jets Drive don't give a fuck about me.
You need some sports counseling.
Yeah, I love that.
Let me just add, where are the Jets going to finish relative to the Patriots in that conference?
Oh, don't talk to me about that. Don't talk to me about that, because I think you guys got worse this year. You guys got worse this year. This is the first time in probably ever I'd say the Jets have more talent than the Patriots do.
More talent, but no fucking direction.
We have direction. I don't know if you understand that.
I can't wait.
Listen, I don't trust that direction that you guys got over there.
That's because you're a Patriots fan and you're going to assume the Jets are always going to be
and
the
you
Jets.
are in the shadows of New York City. Who the fuck even knows about a fucking Jet? They'd rather go for a Giant.
You know who else in the shadows? Fucking Batman. End the show. End the show. End the show. End the show. I just won that argument. I just won that argument.
I don't give a fuck about your stupid
that'll
ass
be your
argument.
clip,
You
Dylan.
stupid man. You don't got my-
There's a reason they call the Jets the fucking Gotham. They say the Gotham City Jets. There's a reason we say that shit. And that's for real. You could go and look that up. Go find that shit out.
I do not know
all of
why,
New York
but
sports.
some of you fans
Gotham
out there
City.
are very twisted the fuck up because of this.
Gotham City. Batman's in the dark. Fuck you. End it.
Batman's in the
Doesn't
dark.
be the last in the
And
division.
who's
this year?
Batman? Mr. Wilson over there?
Trey, we can make
Stop
a bet.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Oh,
You guys are another fucking. You
I
guys are
definitely
another
wanna
the
make
Teen
a bet.
Titans over there.
I would like-
Okay, you got the Teen Titans. Okay, of Gotham City when it comes to y'all Jets. Y'all got the fucking Teen Titans. Y'all teenagers over there. Stay that way over
Teen
there. Grow
Titans
up.
are fucking sick.
Which one? Which version of
Be
it?
the last in the division, and I think that's really interesting. Like, I really do. So
Hey man, if you go ahead, so what's the Patriots over under this year for wins?
I think it says something about 8-8,
I would take
but
the
it's
under.
supposed to be split.
I would take the under. There's a reason why the betting line for the Jets, the over 5.5 is fucking growing astronomically.
6-10.
Over 5.5.
I'm
And
not
if
convinced.
you're a smart man,
I'm not convinced,
If
dog.
you're a
no.
smart man,
So that must mean you
and
guys
you
are
see the
going against
Patriots with an
Listen.
8.5 over under, you take the under.
Dude, you
I
guys
gotta
are not.
check out
Dude,
what
listen,
the
you
Jets
guys are not even gonna be able to beat Miami anymore. Fuck that, because they got.
Guess what? Neither are y'all.
I'm gonna get back to you on a bet. Specific bet.
Neither are y'all. Miami's good. It's just Tua stinks. Miami's a good team.
But-
Tua stinks.
But yeah, but that was a first round draft pick.
Tua stinks. But Miami's gonna be good.
No direction, but I digress.
Man.
You can't argue with people who
aren't gonna
don't
be last.
I'm not going to. I'm
That's
just
all I got to
saying.
say.
You can't argue with people who don't like understand football and directions and growth.
well,
Like,
I don't know
it's just not
quite
fair.
how this spiraled.
Fuck the
into-
Jets. They still ain't shit, bitch.
It's a football talk.
Get rid of Kyrie when it comes to Brooklyn Nets, because that
Your
motherfucker-
quarterback's name is
Oh.
McCorkle. Shut up.
Your quarterback is trash too. What the fuck? Is his name,
McCorkle.
bro?
McCorkle.
McCorkle. Fucking
That's
Zach
his
Wilson.
name.
Zach Wilson. Are
McCorkle.
you serious?
His name's not even
bro?
Mackenzie. It's McCorkle.
McCorkle.
That's his government name.
That is-
McCorkle. That's your quarterback, McCorkle.
You guys.
Noodle arm McCorkle.
You guys got some fucking figuring out to do down there in the shadow of New York City, okay? Cross over that bridge, call up Tony Soprano, tell him to start rigging these fucking referees in order for y'all to even get a chance in the wild card next year.
I'm Batman. I don't think we're making the playoffs. I never said that.
No, you have been Stiller, okay? You have been Affleck, okay? The Batman we do
was
not
good.
fucking want.
His Batman
Ben
is
Affleck
this.
is
What are we
not,
talking
no,
about?
Ben Affleck is trash as Batman.
What's happening?
Throw that
I
shit
don't
in the
know.
fucking
I don't know.
because I'm
what's
a Batman
happening.
fan, okay? So you cannot say this shit right now, and my cousin even knows. So
You want to know
no,
what I can say?
I don't give a fuck.
End it, Mike.
I literally just want to tell everyone that we'll be here Wednesday. That's all
Jesse,
I want to do. I just want to tell all of you watching we'll be here Wednesday
6-10. That's all they ever gonna be. Blah 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 blah.
with this.
Hey, don't be surprised the Patriots are also 6-10.
with this same
Listen, I'd rather
nonsense
be
going
following
on.
8-8 or at least 7-9.
And
in this
maybe
case.
we'll talk basketball. Maybe we will. Maybe
Maybe
we
we'll
won't.
talk wrestling. Maybe we just talk about USC. Maybe we just might need to smack Dylan upside the head once or twice a week.
But nevertheless, we will be here for post game live after game three, Wednesday, whatever time they finish. We'll be here. The panel will be here. I think we'll have an extra. I think Breezes will be here, which is always fun. And look, we'll look for Anthony and try and get him on here again.
Gotta find him. He's dodging smoke.
Will we
Where's
be able to
Anthony?
get Anthony on here? Find
Where's
out
Waldo?
the time on Dragon Ball Z. But
It's where's Waldo?
Where's
this
Waldo?
motherfucker.
Where's Waldo?
Dodging smoke, professional smoke dodger. Anthony, we're coming for you.
I mean,
those of you that
Anthony, man,
follow
you get
us-
paid for this too? Because if you do that, I want in. I can dodge all goddamn day, man. I can turn my phone on airplane mode forever.
You can talk about McCorkle. Yeah. Listen, if y'all want to be on our NFL preview show,
Zach
you're welcome to it.
Wilson made you trash, bro.
Yep. Nope, Dylan. I see that look on your face. Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are out of here. You guys,
Don't even get me started.
Have a great night.
JETSSUCKS.
You guys win games when your quarterback doesn't throw the ball.
Exclamation point.
That's how good McCorkle is.
We're just going to play the music. We're just going to play the music.